Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live. I'm so excited to be here today because I have got this unbelievable, amazing card, and there is a quite amazing free download that comes along with it. My download today is going to have two diagrams. It's going to make this card super easy. This is called a sidestep card. Another fun fold unique card. This is the card that when you send it, your friends are going to go, "Oh, how did you do that?" And you're going to go, I slaved all day. But no, this is a very quick and easy card. I've got all kinds of tips and tricks to share with you. So I think we're going to go ahead and head over to my stamping table and get started. But I do want to let you guys know, stick around to the end of the video because I've got a special surprise for you and you're not going to want to miss it. So, okay, let's go over to my stamping table and I'm going to show you your sidestep card. All right, so this is what we call a sidestep card. You see, it's its own little piece of art when it stands up. By the way, this will fit into a medium-sized envelope. Stampin' Up! Offers those. That is the A2 size. So this is still 4¼ by 5½ inch size. But look at that. Look at how it stands up. I've got a place here to write my message, and it really is an amazing little piece of art. And guys, super easy, but I want you to see one thing. My favorite words in the world are one sheet wonder, because I love that this can be made with just one sheet of 8½ by 11 cardstock. Oh, you're going to love this. All right. So there's a free download. If you can't find it, you can look in the YouTube description. You'll find the direct link to go to the April 28th blog post, and you'll be able to grab this free download. My little gift to you guys. By the way, thank you for all the shout outs, how much you guys are enjoying the downloads. That makes my day. I love to put in the extra work for you because, you take the time to watch me, and I appreciate that. Now, on your download, you're going to have your complete supply list, your cutting, your scoring, all of that good stuff. You're also going to be able to click here to go back and watch the video again, and you can click down here to order any of the supplies that I use. But what I'm very excited to show you is the diagrams, because I don't have one. Oh no, I have two diagrams for you today. Again, it's a one sheet wonder. We're going to use one sheet of 8½ by 11 and one sheet of 6 by 6. So this is a great way to make sure you're going to use all of your cardstock. Are you ready to learn? Let's first talk about what we're going to use. So again, this is the card we're going to create today. And I'm going to use the stamp set Color and Contour. You've seen me use this one a lot because it is a favorite. I love the font in these sentiments. They're just wonderful. So we're going to use this stamp set. And by the way, this has a matching die set as well that you can order. Even if you're not crazy about the stamp set, these scallop dies alone are worth it. Look at all those dies. Fabulous. So we're going to focus on using these dies. If you don't have this, don't worry. You could just make that a rectangle. All right. So don't feel like you have to have them, but they are beautiful. So yeah, we're going to be using the Color and Contour along with the scallop contour dies today. All right, let me move some things out of the way so I can show you the cardstock and the supplies you need for our card. So first things first, I'm going to use Highland Heather. I thought this was just a really nice color for spring. 8½ by 11. Yep, that's pretty easy. No cutting necessary on that. I'm also going to use some designer series paper. I am bringing in some So Saffron. I thought it looked nice with that Highland Heather, a piece of 6 by 6. And by the way, this is from the Subtles collection, so it already comes 6 by 6. Now for this card, we're going to need two pieces of Whisper White or Basic White. Sorry, I'm still going old school there. This piece here, this is a 3 by 4. It's really just a scrap, because what we're going to do with that is that's what's going to fit with our scallop. Okay. Now this one here, this is a 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And that's the piece that we're going to use to write our message on the back. All right. Hopefully all that is good and clear and you're ready. So next I'm going to bring in my diagram. Remember, it has two. We're going to start with this one right here. This is for our cutting and scoring. Oh my goodness, it's so easy. All right, I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut it in half to 5½ by 8½. Oh, how easy is that? We've done that a million times when we've created card bases, right? 5.5 by 8.5, two equal pieces. All right, simple. Let me set one off to the side because now we're going to take care of this one. We're going to do some scoring. We're going to score at 1.25. Let me go ahead and bring this in at 1.25. You guys know I always tell you, make sure that cutting blade's out of your way and that you're bringing in your scoring blade. And I have cut more times than I care to count. So we're going to go with 1.25 inch, and I'm going to make a score line. I'm going to go 2.5 inches, and I'm going to make a score line. And then I'm going to 5.5 inches and make a score line. Guys, super easy, super easy. So that's done. Now we're going to take the remaining 5.5 by 8.5. And what we're going to do with this one, and it's all there in your notes, we're going to cut it down to 3.25 by 8.5. So let's go 3.25. Remember, that's my 8.5 inch side. So 3.25 by 8.5. And then we're going to score it at 4.25. We're going to score it in half. Again, making sure you're using your scoring blade. Guys, that is it. I promise. Oh, it's not it because we're going to do our designer series paper next. But as far as your 8.5 by 11, that's all the cutting and scoring. This piece is scrap, but it's going to be a great one I can use on another project. But that's our 8.5 by 11. Now I'm going to bring in my other diagram, and this is the one for the 6 by 6. Now I've done something a little bit interesting on this one. I'm going to have you cut 1 inch, 1 inch, and then 2.75, and that's going to leave us 1.25. Pick your favorite side. Doesn't matter which one. Let's go ahead and cut. We need two pieces that are 1 inch, so we can cut these. Now, what I said, I started to say it there. This is kind of interesting. If you're using a pattern that you want the pattern to stay consistent, be sure to cut it like my diagram. But this one, this pattern just kind of keeps repeating itself. So it's not as much of an issue. But if you have a real random pattern, we want to keep these in order. So if we were using a pattern, let's set that one there. And we'll set that one right there. I love being able to put it right there on my diagram to make sure I've got the right thing. Oh, guess what Connie just did? It happens, it happens, it happens. It's just been like that. Okay, we're going to back up for just a minute. I needed to cut off 3/4 inch. Guess what? I haven't ruined anything. I can still do it. So if you guys will give me just a second, I will cut this down to 5.25. So yeah, and you guys know this is how it is when you're live. I get so excited to be here and be on stamping with my friends. Okay. Oh, I love it when I do that. Okay, so these, bringing this back in, this would be 1 by 5.25. Now I'm going to keep going. That would be 2.75, and that will go here. I know it's a giant diagram. And this is going to leave me 1.25. Now I'm going to move my paper trimmer out of my way so I can see I have all of these pieces. So if this, like I said, if this were an actual pattern that I wanted to keep in order, you're going to want to keep it that way. But this pattern is very random and I'm fine. All right, are you ready? We're going to start with that big piece of Highland Heather. You're going to want a bone folder for this one. I just find bone folders on these types of cards. Well, you know what? I find a bone folder to be one of my most essential tools. And you notice I'm just kind of accordion folding, all right? Just like that. And you can see my card is already starting to come together. So we're going to accordion fold that. And by the way, if you accordion fold anything wrong, don't worry. You can just flip it back. You haven't ruined anything. This is the other piece that we cut that we scored at the 4.25, and that's going to be our side step. All right, that's what we're going to start with. Okay. I'll tell you what, we are going to do our stamping next, so I can go ahead and get my stamping going. And I'm going to start, I'm looking for all my stuff. Okay. We're going to start with that 3 by 4. And remember, this can just be a scrap, but we want to go ahead and die cut the the scallop contour die. All right, you're going to know which one because it's the one that's going to fit in that 3 by 4. So through the magic of television, I have done that for you. And let's go ahead and do some stamping. I'm going to bring in some grid paper because I thought I would do a little work with a blending brush. Mint macaron, absolutely gorgeous color with Highland Heather. Don't you agree? I've got my blending brush here. Now, I've shared blending brushes many times. I'm just going to give it a little tap here on my ink pad. But guys, I'm telling you, we got to get just a little bit of this ink off. It's so dark, and I want this to be nice and light. So you notice I just did a few swirls there on my grid paper. And now I'm going to go in an oval, and my tricks and tips with this is start out very light. I mean, you're kissing a baby. Just give it some sweet little kisses on the paper. Keep it really nice and soft. Now, as some of that ink on the blending brush starts to go there on your cardstock, now you can press just a little bit harder because, some of that ink starting to get on the paper. Now we can go a little bit harder. Do you see how my color's just kind of deepening? That's all you need to do. We just want that nice, soft. This is really going to make the card look amazing, I promise you. Okay, now since I've got that blending brush out, I'm actually going to bring in the other piece of cardstock, the 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And for this one, I'm going to do a little bit of blending right here. Let me see if I have enough ink left on my brush. Oh, I do. I do. And you notice I'm pressing a lot harder because most of that ink has gone away. I'm just going to go up here in the upper left corner. Okay. Okay, let me put this away for just a second. And I'm going to bring in my tuxedo black, my Memento tuxedo black. And let's go back to this one. I don't know, it's a thing with me. I have to start with the front and then go to the inside. So, all right, on this one, I'm going to use the sentiment. I'm so very happy for you. It's that time of year that maybe you've got a graduation or somebody got a promotion at work. We're going to stamp that right there in the upper left-hand corner. And let me set this off to the side because, and I didn't bring in this piece. And bear with me, I'm trying to find it. Well, I cannot find it. You're going to need another scrap piece of cardstock, okay? Because this one is what we're going to use for our flowers, okay? I'm going to ink that up. Sorry about that. I thought I had that sitting on my table. Honestly, there's so many papers and things for when I do my lives that sometimes things get lost. So what we're going to do here, we're going to stamp that on our cardstock. And now we can fill in with a Highland Heather. This is a 2-step stamp, my favorite kind of stamps. And by the way, I still remember when Stampin' Up! Came out with their very first 2-step stamp. I thought I was going to lose my mind. I was so excited. Coloring's not my thing. And so you can see we stamp in one color, and now we're going to stamp inside. That's what's wonderful about photopolymer stamps. We stamp right inside, and look, we've got this gorgeous watercolored, fabulous image, right? Now, for those leaves, guess what I did? I just came back in with my mint macaron and just gave it a nice little sponge. I thought we don't have to color that. We're just going to use that sponge. So I'm now going to take that, and this stamp set has the matching dies. Now, remember earlier I said, oh, if you don't have the stamp set, it's okay. If you don't have the stamp set, you can just stamp it directly on here. Okay. So don't feel like you have to have this, but I love adding that extra dimension and bringing that back in with a die cut. So I'm going to die cut this, and you know me, through the magic of television, I did that in advance, so that is ready to go. But remember, you could just come and stamp this. All right. Okay, now we're going to do one more thing to the inside of our card because we got to say a little bit more. So I'm going to find my stamp that says, "You're absolutely amazing." Stamping that in the black. Put that right up there at the top. And now I'm going to cut, whoops, no, don't put the black away yet, Connie. We're going to come back in with those flowers. This is the other reason I did need my grid paper, because I'm going off again. We're going to come off the cardstock right there. And I'm going to come in and Highland Heather one more time, and we're going to fill in. This is what's going to make where we're writing our sentiment just really over the top, gorgeous. And stamping my two-step right on top. Can I say one more thing about two-step? You notice I'm not perfect? You don't have to be. Guys, it's supposed to look like watercolor. And that's what's so nice with this, is that I don't have to worry if I'm not, dead straight. It's all good. It is all good. My friends, our stamping is done. Are you ready to put a card together? I'm sure you are. So let's move some things out of the way. All right. So what we want to do, we're going to start here with our main step. Okay. And I'm going to try to bring this back in so that you can see where I was. We're going to take these right off of our sheet. So we're going to take our first one, and you're going to adhere that to the first panel. We're going to take the next one, and we're going to adhere it to the next panel. By the way, you're going to know which one to do. You can just see it because the sizes fit. And then you're going to go, well, Connie, where does this one go? Hold tight. I'm going to show you what you're going to do with that one in a minute. So you're going to adhere all these down. All right. Now, again, Magic Television. I've done that. It's a different pattern, but that's all good, right? So that's what it's going to look like when you have all those pieces down. This is a great time for me to show you that I said if this was a pattern, it would all be the same. It would all kind of flow and look nice. So if it has, like I said, random flowers and you want them all to line up. But let me also say the way the card comes together, if you don't do that, it's okay too, because this is another great card you can use some scraps on. Okay, we've got that. Now we're going to bring in our side step. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to adhere this. It literally fits right here and right here, just right on the edges of that cardstock. Before you do this, you want to decide, where do you want your side step? Do you want it all the way over to the side? Do you want a little bit to show? Do you want it over on the left side? Do you want it in the center? Okay, all kinds of options. You get to decide where you want this to adhere down. So I'm going to do this one over here on the left side, because that's where I want to write my message, but it could be on the other side. It would be fine. All right. So there's not a right or wrong. I love it when you guys have some creative options. So let's go ahead and talk about how to adhere this down. Let me grab my adhesive that got away from me. So I can see right where I want that to go. Okay. So I'm going to add my adhesive. Let's get it started. I'm going to add adhesive here and another strip. Come on, another strip right by it. You're going to want to take it nice and slow, because you got kind of one shot at this. We want it to get nice and straight right there along the bottom. I'm going to give that a press. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I can see that one's going to line up just right. So we'll add 2 strips of adhesive. And we'll add that one. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add one more piece. Forgive me. I haven't pressed it down because you guys know I don't do that. We're gonna add a little strip right there just to give that a little bit more holding on right there. Okay. Now, because we have that on there, now I can add my sentiment and I hide that. Isn't that great? We get to put that other step on there, but we're also going to hide it. So let's go ahead and add the sentiment. By the way, I told you guys, be sure to stick around to the end of the video, because I've got a special surprise and I don't want you to miss it. We'll put that right there. This strip, aha, that's what we're going to do with this. So you're going to cut this down. Now, the reason I didn't do it in advance is because I want to share something with you. This panel, you can make any size you want. Remember, and let me bring in my diagram, make it easier, because I do want you guys to know this. This strip here, you have lots of extra. If you want it wider, wait, make it wider. If you want it narrower, make it narrower. It's this cut right here. You do you. So you've got some options of if you've got a bigger sentiment, just make that a little bit longer. If you've got a really nice narrow sentiment, make it a little shorter. So I hope that makes sense because I know for some of you that could be a little daunting. So it might be best to start with this. And then if you need to trim it down, you can trim it down. And now that means I can see exactly where to cut this final strip. So this is three, I got to look at my measurements now. That would be 3 1/4. I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch off of it. So I'm going to cut it down by 3. And if you guys, do you guys do this? Do you do this and go, yep, right there. That's where I want it. You can do that too. But we do know that needs to be cut to 3 inches. So we'll go ahead and give that a quick little cut. All right. And we will add that one right here. I told you it's really easy and you were able to do it with one sheet of 6 by 6. And I think that just adds on that step. If we're going to have it there, let's make it look pretty. Okay, moving my stuff out of the way. So we're here. Now it's time to decorate. So I'm going to take that gorgeous sentiment that I did and we'll use adhesive on this. But you know, I have to use my Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to do that on that image that I popped. So the one that I die cut, I have put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. Again, guys, this is just one of those projects that when you give it, they're going to just lose their minds of how did you do that? You notice it's coming off of the scallop, but I love that. I'm going to take it up one more notch and I'm going to bring in a little black and white gingham bow. Now I have to tell you something. If you go looking for this in the catalog right now, you're not going to find it. But on May 3rd, you will find it. We actually had this ribbon in one of our previous catalogs and it was so popular, they're bringing it back. Let's add, you notice I just pressed it there onto a mini glue dot and we'll add that. Doesn't that black and white gingham add so much to the card? Guys, that's simple. I've got a place to write my message. I got a little pop action. I've got some scallops. It's so easy to do. Would you like to see another card? Let me show you another card that I made. And this one I really do love. By the way, you're going to get the information for both of those cards here in your download. So this one I decided to do for, kind of in support of our friends in Ukraine. The sunflower is their country's flower. And then, of course, that Pacific Point and crushed curry are their colors. And know that you are loved. I just thought this was wonderful. I've got another little die cut there. There's the same. Everything is the same. Oh, look at that. Put it on the other side. Remember I said on the stairs or the side step, you can put it anywhere you want. I do want to show you a couple quick things. So this one is the Celebrate Sunflower stamp set, and it has a matching die set as well. This one will be in our brand new catalog that's coming up May 3rd. But I thought I'd go ahead and just show you how I did my stamping on that because you're going to see those measurements in the download. So I stamped a big flower. I stamped 2 small ones and then this one. And you're going, Connie, that's just weird. Well, guess what? You can't really see it because it's tucked underneath there. So all I need is a little bit of that, but that meant I could get all of it on a little quarter sheet of crushed curry cardstock. And then here, I stamped a few of the leaves on some garden green to bring out that gorgeous green. I think it really pops with the crushed curry and the Pacific Point. Know you are loved, a place for my message. So there we go. Let me bring both of these in again. Really fun cards. The download makes it super easy. And again, we love to give a card that is also its own little piece of art or it's a gift. It really is. Speaking of the stair step cards, you guys know I always do a little show and tell here after my videos. Well, I'm going to show you another side step card that I got. And this one's a little bit different. So this one is a nice long, it's a little bit longer than mine, but it's shorter. So instead of going going horizontal, this one is going vertical. I know you're going, no, Connie, they're both going. Well, yeah, it's just cut a little bit smaller in my length this year. I don't have the measurements for this one. This is one that I made at a recent event. But I thought I had to show you that, guys, there's some options with that fabulous little sidestep card. And this one used the gorgeous Daffodil Daydream. You truly inspire me. Some of those wonderful brass butterflies. I thought it was a beautiful card, and I just wanted to share that one with you. Now, before we move on, let's talk about the cards that we're going to create next week. Oh my goodness. Are you ready? Okay. The cards we're going to make next week are awesome. May 5th, it'll be 11 a.m. Central Time. Let me show you what we're going to make. We're going to be using new products because May 5th, we'll have a new catalog. So I've got this wonderful new stamp that says Sending Sunshine and Good Feelings Your Way. There's some new designer series paper, and I used some Mango Melody and some background pieces there. But are you ready for the wow? This. That is what we're going to make. And my friends, I'm going to tell you, you're going to love it. It is another easy card. And this is where I'm going to be able to write my message. You guys can stamp whatever you want here. I decided to keep it open to write my message so I can write here and here. But I love this explosion card. Now, we got one for the ladies. Let's do one for the men in our lives. And we're going to use the same stamp set. It's called Good Feelings. So this one is a Good Feelings. This one is Good Feelings. I'm just so happy for you. And do you see that? Okay, I'm going to hold it up a little closer. Hopefully you can see. You remember my packing tape technique? I did that on my beer mugs, so it's all shiny. But it's a brand new stamp set brewed for you. I'll show that one to you next week as well. And this one I did a little different. So let me pull this in. You notice this one, I really let the designer series paper be kind of the star for those points up at the top and the bottom. This one was a little bit more of a simple paper, so I decided to bring in some cardstock to dress it up. And I used an embossing folder because it's masculine. We want to give that nice masculine feel. I stamped on this one because, guys don't want a lot of chitter chatter. So I can just, say, Stewart, you're the man, right? So I'll stamp on that one right there. Mary Merlot, perfect card for the men. And I thought that one came out really cute. So I'm excited to teach you. Is there a diagram? Of course there is. So you're going to want to come back May 5th to see that one. All right, let me switch myself back over. And I told you guys I had a surprise for you. So you know that I have the most incredible moderator here on my YouTube lives. Her name is Brenda. You guys chat with her a lot. Well, guess what? She's here. I'm knocking stuff over. I'm so excited you're here. I'm knocking stuff over. We've had an incredible week. Brenda, now you guys might not know this. Brenda's from Idaho and I'm from Oklahoma. Yep. So when she moderates for me, she's on the other side of the states. And today, Tugger's decided to come visit. Tugger is my best friend. He and Brenda become best friends. Yep. And there he goes. We really do want to show him to you. Why don't you go grab him? Okay. Because he's grown. He's 6 months old now. And now he's being a pill. Okay, she's tricking him with a toy. That's what you have to do. Tugger is an 18-pound busy boy. Let's bring him in. Oh, he is, but he loves us. Oh, and he loves Miss Brenda. We've had such a good time this week. You have to see who this is that moderates for you guys. So
we've been friends for what, 27 years?
At least. 95. How many years is that?
Older than Christina.
Yeah, that's how we always figure. 2 years older than my oldest daughter. But anyway, I just had to show her off.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you for all you do.
I love it.
We
love you guys.
Yeah.
We have a good time on the lives. It's a lot of fun. So.
It is. It is.
So
okay. Now you can put a face with the name that you see. Hey, can I do one more quick shameless plug? It is, time is running out, guys. The Creative 8 Spring Retreat starts tomorrow. So if you've waited to register, now the dogs are excited. If you've waited to register, time is running out. It's tomorrow. you want to go get that taken care of. Brenda's going to post the link to that. We'd love to have you. We have so much fun at the retreats. If you're not familiar with it, go check out the link that Brenda just shared because you'll learn everything you need to know. It's an all day part. We're going to do two stamping presentations on Friday night and then all day on Saturday, every hour on the hour. 36 tutorials. 36 tutorials. So every presentation, we're going to give you 3 tutorials, so many ideas. Do you have to have the products that we use? No. Kind of like how I do here on my lives. If you don't have this, create it with something else. We design our tutorials so that you can use what you already have on hand. That's what it's all about. So I would love to have you guys join us. $45. So it's a really affordable event, especially when you think about 36 tutorials that go along with it. Just be sure to go check it out because it starts tomorrow and I would love to have you there. Okay, my friends, that is all for me. I will see you May 5th as we bring in those wonderful explosion cards. Can't wait to share with you. Thank you for being here. Give me a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe. You know, I love that. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.